Welcome to the Team Rhino call for October 29th. We're at the end of October, everybody, and we haven't done team calls for a few weeks here. I've been out on vacation and whatnot, but getting back to some team calls, and we might start up some webinars and stuff again too. But we've got a bunch of, one of the reasons I'm not doing the webinars as much as I was is because we have a whole bunch of recorded ones, and honestly, I'm not seeing a lot of people making use of the recordings and working on those. And I think I'd like to have people work with the ones that we have right now and see some success with those. And I think live ones are great, but we've already done like 10 of them. Plus we have our 8-minute video, and I think that it's a good idea for people to use the ones that we already have. I really don't mind doing them, but I think we've got a lot of great resources already set up, and we don't necessarily need to do a live one every week when we can use the resources that we already have. If people think that we should do some more live ones, I'm open to that. Just message me and let me know that you want to do some more live ones. But what I want to talk about today is just having a plan for the rest of the year. I think it's really, really, really important that you hit January in stride rather than hitting January going, oh, it's the big season for fitness and health. I should probably do something, and then try to figure something out. You should have a plan running into January that's going to help people that people can jump right into. Okay, so if you start your plan at the end of December, it's not going to work out as well as if you start your plan right now. And I think there's a couple of pieces to that. The very first piece to that is having a plan for yourself for fitness from now through January, and then from January on. So that it always starts with you, right? It starts with you and what you're going to do, and what fitness what goals you're reaching, and what you're eating and how you're working out. All starts with you, right? Because you can't help other people if you're not on track yourself, right? I mean, you guys know this. When you don't do your personal development and you don't do your workouts and you eat wrong, what happens to your business? It goes down. When you are on track and you're hitting your goals and you're killing Body Beast and you're talking about it, you get a lot more response from people, right? They're interested in what you're doing. So the very first thing you can do for having a plan for the new year to kill your business, like totally kill January and take advantage of the big season of New Year's resolutions, is to have a plan for yourself. And I'll give you a suggestion of a plan for yourself, but one of the things I like to do is talk to people about going into January more fit than you are right now. In other words, the average person gains 5 to 10 pounds over the holiday season, at least a couple pounds, right? Because it's all the baked goods, and it starts with Halloween candy, and it moves into Thanksgiving, and then it moves into Christmas goodies and parties and all that stuff and everything. And I've had some success just about every year talking to people through my posts and advertisements, and just talking to people about giving them the thought in their mind, what if when you hit January, you didn't feel like you needed a resolution, but you were already there? Like you weren't necessarily at your fitness goal, but where you're at right now on October 29th, when you hit January 1st, you actually weigh less, you feel better, you look better, and you're closer to your goals on January 1st. What's going to happen in January? And people usually are like, wow, I wonder if that's even possible. Could I even do that? You know? Hi, Lisa Madsen. So that's, I think if you come up with a plan for yourself, and I think what I normally tell people is, you know, have a plan for now to Thanksgiving, have a plan for Thanksgiving and how you're going to cheat or relax on Thanksgiving, and then have a plan from Thanksgiving to Christmas, and then take a little break at Christmas and have a little fun, whatever, and then hit January again rolling. So think about what kind of groups and plans and communities could you create around the idea of maybe it's just getting fit between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, I'm not going to give in to all the goodies. I'm not going to turn the entire holiday season from Thanksgiving all the way to Christmas into a binge eating cycle. It's going to be have some fun on Thanksgiving and then be strict through Christmas and then have some fun on Christmas. And that strict from Thanksgiving to Christmas is you're going to be the one that helps them get through that, right? So think about how you could use that to create a plan for not only for yourself, but for helping, say, 5 people get through that or 10 people get through that. That could be your November Success Club, and it could be their chance to, or maybe it's your December Success Club, and probably November Success Club because they're getting everything that they need prior to Thanksgiving so that the day after Thanksgiving they could start. It could be an ultimate reset starting the day after Thanksgiving and going to, 3 weeks later. They're going to go into Christmas feeling much better. They're not going to be as tempted by those treats because of how they feel, okay? So you've got tons of options there. There's not just one way, but 5 to 10 people, help them get from now until New Year's and actually lose weight over the holiday season. Think about how awesome they would feel losing weight over the holiday season. Another thing that you've got for planning from now until New Year's is the Hammer and Chisel comes out on December 1st. And that's huge, right? That is a huge thing. So you could start a challenge group on December 7th or something like that, whatever the closest Monday is, something that makes sure that people can get their stuff. Although they'll be able to access it via Beachbody On Demand if they buy the challenge pack, right? They'll be able to access it almost right away. People can start almost right away. So set your challenge group, start talking to people, start putting out the posts, whatever you need to do, but have a plan for what exactly you're going to do for your fitness. My plan is the rest of this month, actually all the way up until Thanksgiving, I'm doing the beast phase of Body Beast, and so I'm cutting. I'm doing, I'm still doing beast, but I'm adding in T25 for extra cardio. I'm low on carbs and all that kind of stuff for cutting. And then the day after Thanksgiving, I hit the ultimate reset. And so I stop working out and do ultimate reset for a couple weeks. Then I'm going to Hawaii, and when I come back, we hit Hammer and Chisel. And so we start Hammer and Chisel probably around the 20th of December, right around Christmas time. So, and my wife's doing that with me, and Lisa doing that with me, and I'm sure a bunch of the rest of you will be jumping in on that. Maybe we'll have a group all together or something like that. But planning for the new year is super important. So what's your plan? Think about what your plan is going to be. You can have stuff that starts New Year's because that's really good to have, but have something leading into it and help people get there. And then definitely have your plan laid out for the New Year's stuff so that people can jump into it during the New Year's time if they're not going to jump in with you on the plan leading up to New Year's. Okay. The other thing for planning getting up to New Year's is a lot of you, especially the people I'm looking at on this call here, if you haven't gone through your entire warm market yet, the people you already knew before you became a coach, then for most of the people I can see on this call right now, well, shoot, what have you been doing? Because that's probably not that many people, right? I mean, how many of you had more than 500 Facebook friends before you became a coach? Most people don't. They have 200 to maybe 1,000. 1,000 would be a lot of people to have as Facebook friends when you're not a coach, right? And so if you haven't already talked to almost all of those people, then you probably need to get to work because that's not that many people and you should be talking to more people. But so most of you have run through that. So your biggest thing for New Year's is having enough people that you haven't talked to yet to talk to, right? If you had 500 people that you haven't talked to about Beachbody come around to New Year's, a whole bunch of those people are going to be ready to start a resolution and you're going to be right there. But if you've talked to everybody on your list and you haven't been expanding your network, then guess what happens when you come to January? It's going to be just as tough as October is right now. You're not going to have anybody to join your groups because you've already talked to all of them. Now, maybe a few people that you talk to will come around in January because they weren't ready in October and now it's January and their New Year's resolution. But your best bet for getting the most number of people in January is to spend the next 2 months building your network, not necessarily trying to figure out how to get more people to buy from you, but building your network, growing your network. So here's a thing for you to do. Every day, add 3 new friends to your Facebook friends list. Every single day, add 3 new friends. How do you do that? There's friend suggestions. You can add friends on Facebook from the people that Facebook suggests as friends because they have mutual friends. You can go in groups of things that aren't even related to Beachbody. Like we've talked about this before. Like Lisa has a Great Dane, and she goes in the Great Dane group and friends people through there, people who also have Great Danes, triathlete groups, whatever it is that you've got hobbies and things, you can go find people to have conversations with in there and then friend request them. 3 people a day. If you do that for every single day from now until the end of the year, and what do you have? 180 new people to talk to? Am I that right? No, 3 times, yeah, 180 new people to talk to, right? So did I do the math on that right? Brooks, you're an engineer. 30 days times 3 people is 90, and 2 months is 180. Boom. Look at that. So that's 180 new people that you could talk to by New Year's about your New Year's stuff, right? So that is so important. Every day, add 3 new people. Okay. So those are just a couple of ideas for the new year, but you got to be organized. You got to add those people. You got to grow your network. You got to talk to those people, and you got to have plans to put them in. You got to have ideas and things to put them in, and you got to have a plan for yourself. What are you going to do for your fitness from now until New Year's, and then when New Year's hits, what are you going to do? Because that's how you're going to drive the interest with the people that you talk to. All right, so that's all I wanted to talk about today is just getting ready for New Year's. And does anybody have any comments or questions or thoughts? We can talk about plans and groups and all kinds of stuff.
Nope, I just had a call with my team last night, and we talked about the same thing.
All right.
So it was good.
What were some of the things that you guys talked about? Like, what were some of the ideas?
You know, we talked a little bit. It was mainly just Becky and I, but we talked about, everybody should be on Team Cup, which already. So we have a nice Team Cup, and, she's trying to build her business, and we just played around with strategies to go ahead and use that to move forward.
Fall Classic, yes. I should have mentioned Fall Classic. You're right, actually. I didn't mention Fall Classic. So obviously you guys have a team, so you guys have a Fall Classic team. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else on the call have a Fall Classic team? Carmen, are you on one? She's stuck. Like, maybe she dropped off the call. Not moving anymore. Anybody else on here on a Fall Classic team? I'm going to be starting a Fall Classic team. I need to get mine registered, so I'll be messaging some people later today or tomorrow about that. But that's another good thing is just having that extra drive from the Fall Classic. That's a good one. Anybody else got comments on getting ready for New Year's, having a plan, your own fitness plan, getting ready for the big rush of New Year's in February and March and the whole first of the year?
I think the strategy to start early is too good. You got to get in, hit January with them rolling,
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get caught on your heels in January thinking, oh, it's January, I better get going. You're too late. You got to get stuff ready and going before that. On Ultimate Reset group on January 1st or right around January 1st is always a good one too. People looking to make those big resolutions. 21-day fix is always popular around that time. Got to be thinking about what you can do, different ways you can advertise it, different ways you can talk to people about it. Of course, 90-10 is always out there. Getting close to some big changes with 90-10 that we're going to be talking about soon. So, yeah. Anything from you, Lisa? All right. Cool. All right, anybody else? Brooks, you good?
I'm good.
All right, good night, everybody. We'll be continuing team calls. I got some big stuff to talk to you about in the next couple weeks, but not quite yet. So get ready for the new year, and good talking to y'all.